This month in history, March. Hey Crash, today we're going to create the third episode of our monthly mini-series, This Month in History, which means that sequentially speaking, this time we're focusing on the month of March. Crash? What are you doing?
The month!
Wow, okay. Seriously, your jokes are on a very steep decline these days.
Oh, come on! I could have taken that the dirty route, that's what she said, and did this! Do you get it? Do you get it, Culture? Doing the month!
Steep decline, buddy.
Whatever, let's just get on with the episode.
Gladly.
March 1st.
In 1896, physicist Henry Becquerel discovers radioactivity. In 1961, United States President JFK establishes the Peace Corps.
March 2nd.
In 1882, Queen Victoria narrowly escapes assassination when Roderick McLean shoots at her while boarding a train in Windsor. In 1990, Nelson Mandela is elected Deputy President of the African National Congress.
March 3rd.
In 1887, Anne Sullivan begins teaching 6-year-old blind-deaf Helen Keller. In 1985, a magnitude 8.3 earthquake strikes the Valparaiso region of Chile, killing 177 and leaving nearly 1 million people homeless. In 2005, Steve Fossett becomes the first person to fly an airplane non-stop around the world solo without refueling.
Now that's some risky shit.
In 1998, the Supreme Court of the United States rules that federal laws banning on-the-job sexual harassment also apply when both parties are the same sex. In 2012, Vladimir Putin wins the Russian presidential election amid allegations of voter fraud.
March 5th.
In 1933, President Franklin D. Roosevelt proclaims a 10-day bank holiday, closing all US banks and freezing all financial transactions. In 1960, Elvis Presley ends a 2-year hitch serving in the United States Army.
March 6th.
In 1857, the US Supreme Court rules Africans cannot be US citizens. In 1983, the first United States Football League game is played.
March 7th.
In 1912, polar explorer Roald Amundsen announces the discovery of the South Pole.
I suppose that's impressive and all, but what about this pole?
In 1988, radio star Howard Stern releases his first ever pay-per-view underpants and negligee party, live in front of a studio audience, all stripped to their underpants and lingerie.
March 8th.
In 1986, Martina Navratilova is the first tennis player to earn $10 million. In 1979, Dutch tech company Philips demonstrates the compact disc publicly for the first time.
March 9th.
In 1945, 334 US B-29 superfortresses attack Tokyo with 120,000 firebombs. In 1959, the Barbie doll makes its debut at the American International Toy Fair in New York.
And thus female body image issues began. March 10th.
In 1902, a United States Court of Appeals rules that Thomas Edison did not invent the movie camera. In 2015, the family of Marvin Gaye win a record $7.3 million lawsuit for music copyright infringement against Robin Thicke, Pharrell Williams, and T.I.
March 11th.
In 1918, the first case of Spanish flu occurs, the start of a devastating worldwide pandemic. In 1991, Janet Jackson signs a $40 million 3-album deal with Virgin Records.
March 12th.
In 1994, the Church of England ordains its first female priest. In 2009, financier Bernard Madoff pleads guilty in New York to scamming $18 billion, the largest in Wall Street's history.
March 13th, baby!
In 1781, astronomer William Herschel sees what he thinks is a comet, but is actually the discovery of the planet Uranus. In 1997, the UFO sighting Phoenix lights are seen over Phoenix, Arizona, by hundreds of people and by millions on television.
March 14th!
In 1931, Alam Ara, India's first talking film, is released. In 1794, inventor Eli Whitney is granted a patent for the cotton gin, a machine used to quickly and easily separate cotton from their seeds.
March 15th.
In 1985, the first internet domain name is registered, symbolics.com. In 1991, 4 LA police are charged with beating Rodney King, raising public concern about police treatment of minorities in the US.
Well, I think we all know what time it is. Let's take a look at some notable people who were born in March. Pop star Justin Bieber. I don't like that guy. Pawn stars Rick Harrison. I have no idea who that is. Terrorist Osama bin Laden. Let's all hope he's rotting in hell where Allah can't find him. Oh, but speaking of death, it's time for the opposite. The following names are people who died during the month of March. Actor Leonard Nimoy, may the force be with you. Holocaust victim Anne Frank. Premier of the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin. And spiritual leader Gandhi.
Whoa. Really? Gandhi? Again? He's been a notable death in both the January and the February episodes. How does this make sense?
Culture, have some respect. It's Gandhi! He's a fucking well-seasoned, sacred, spiritually superior, master prestige, top-notch, expert-level faith daddy. He can do anything.
Ugh, whatever. For the sake of the people watching the video though, I would just like to point out that his real date of death is actually the 30th of January 1948. Just wanted to clear that up.
You're no fun. March 16th!
In 1972, John Lennon and Yoko Ono are served with deportation papers. In 1989, a 4,400-year-old mummy is found near the Pyramid of Cheops in Egypt.
March 17th!
In 1968, as a result of nerve gas testing in Skull Valley, Utah, over 6,000 sheep are found dead. In 1985, serial killer Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker, commits the first 2 murders in his Los Angeles murder spree.
March 18th.
In 1985, the first episode of Australian soap opera Neighbours debuts. In 1992, in a national referendum, white South Africans vote overwhelmingly in favour of ending apartheid.
March 19th. God, ASMR is dumb.
In 1991, the NFL stripped Phoenix of the 1993 Super Bowl hosting, due to Arizona not recognizing Martin Luther King Day. In 2002, Zimbabwe is suspended from the Commonwealth on charges of human rights abuses and of electoral fraud, following a turbulent presidential election.
March 20th!
In 1991, Michael Jackson signs a $65 million 6-album deal with Sony Records. In 2015, a solar eclipse, equinox, and a supermoon all occur on the same day.
March 21st.
In 1970, the first San Diego Comic-Con International takes place at the US Grand Hotel. In 2006, the social media site Twitter is founded.
Curse you, Twitter! You publicize all my deepest, darkest secrets! March the 22nd.
In 2012, Australia's most wanted man, Malcolm Madden, is captured after 7 years on the run in Gloucestershire, New South Wales. In 2013, American rock band My Chemical Romance announced their breakup. Hey Crash, does that make you upset? Huh?
Ha ha! You don't have the upper hand this time, asshole! Before the show began, I did a little background research, and I managed to find one of your old MySpace profiles, bitch! I didn't take a look at the images because I wanted to save the reaction for the video, but prepare to feel the same humiliation I felt, you piece of shit!
Go on then, do what you will. I'm an open book.
It's loading. Come on. Come on! Fuck. Moving on, March 23rd!
In 1956, Pakistan becomes the first Islamic republic in the world. In 2007, after some initial hesitation, Emma Watson signs on to appear as Hermione in the final 3 Harry Potter films.
March 24th!
In 1837, Canada gives African-Canadian men the right to vote. In 1832, founder of Mormonism Joseph Smith is beaten, tarred, and feathered in Ohio.
Melancholy March 25th.
In 2015, British musician Zayn Malik announces he's leaving the band One Direction.
March 26th.
In 1953, Dr. Jonas Salk announces a vaccine to prevent polio. In 1992, Mike Tyson is sentenced to 6 years for the rape of Desiree Washington.
March 27th.
In 1915, Typhoid Mary, real name Mary Mellon, is arrested and returned to quarantine on North Brother Island, New York, after spending 5 years evading health authorities and causing several further outbreaks of typhoid. In 1998, the Food and Drug Administration approves Viagra for use as a treatment for male impotence, the first pill to be approved for this condition in the United States.
Only on the 3rd month and I'm already running out of ways to say all the days of the month, March 28th.
In 1960, 1968, Brazilian high school student Edson Luis de Lima Souto is shot by the police in a protest for cheaper meals at a restaurant for low-income students. In 2013, Pope Francis becomes the first pope to wash the feet of women in the Maundy Thursday service.
March 29th.
In 1795, Ludwig von Beethoven, aged 24, has his debut performance as a pianist in Vienna. In 1848, the Niagara Falls stops flowing for 30 hours due to an ice jam.
Almost done. March 30th.
In 1796, Carl Friedrich Gauss, a German mathematician, discovers the construction of the heptadecagon. In 1987, Vincent van Gogh's Sunflowers sells for a record £22.5 million, or $39.7 million.
March 31st. Fucking done.
In 1889, the Eiffel Tower officially opens in Paris, retaining the record for the tallest man-made structure at 300 meters for 41 years. Well, there's yet another episode down, only 9 to go.
What the fuck do you mean, only, huh? That's heaps!
Hey, just be grateful you're not doing my job, okay? Articulating these facts isn't something I see you doing a particularly good job with.
You're probably right. Being smart must suck.
Oh, not at all. I mean, it definitely has its advantages, like recognizing the possibility of you tracking down a certain old social media profile, and the ability to remember certain old login details, and knowing the basics of Adobe Photoshop.
I knew it! This image is a fake! Thank God for that. I was beginning to harbor a little jealousy there.
Hey, Crash, think again.